Welcome to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, where in a single moment you can recognize your brilliance and change your life. This is a transformational hour that covers an array of topics that demonstrate how individuals use their native talents, as shown in their name, to look at the ordinary in extraordinary ways. Now, Albert Einstein once said that everybody's a genius. Why would one of the smartest people on the planet declare that everyone is a genius unless he knew that to be true? I'm your host, Sharon Lynn Wyeth, creator of Namology Science and author of Know the Name, Know the Person. And in each weekly show, you hear the fascinating ways other people discovered the genius in them and what they were able to accomplish. At the end of each show, you'll hear clues on how you can recognize your own innate genius. All over the world, people have many, many diverse interests. And in that vein, people have asked about different occupations and areas of life that have highly interested them. People want to know how highly successful people have managed to achieve their genius mindset by utilizing the gifts that are seen in their name when we use namology science. So, how does someone express their creative talents? And so how does somebody share those gifts with others in such a way that everybody benefits? Our expert tonight is Dusti Garside Branecki, who has developed her genius in the area of cleaning houses. Now, on this show, I've invited guests who have different professions to share their ideas with us. All of our guests have risen to the height of excellence in their chosen professions. Tonight's guest is especially interesting to me as I'm a professional organizer just as much as I help businesses and individuals by interpreting names to know a person's personality traits. Now, I love going into a cluttered space, be it an office, home, or a garage, and making it into an organized area that is a joy for its efficiency and appearance. And at the end of organizing a home, especially when the house is getting ready to go up on the market, I recommend that the house get a deep cleaning, which I consider to be like a facelift. It is always the finishing touch. Tonight's guest does that deep cleaning and is in high demand in her area as she is most efficient and so detailed in what she does. She gives every place that magical touch that makes the space sparkle. Welcome to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You radio show, Dusti.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Now, do people tease you that your nickname or your name is Dusti and you dust or clean for a living?
Yes, they do. I get asked all the time, is that your real name? Is that your nickname? And it is my real given name.
And isn't that apropos? I love it. It's kind of like,
it is.
It's kind of like the dentist, that has Dr. Payne for a name or, something like that. I think this is just great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you discover, Dusty, your talent for cleaning houses? And more importantly, when did you realize that you actually enjoyed cleaning other people's stuff, their places?
Oh, gee. How I realized I had a talent is from a young age, I was always wanting to be in with my mom and my grandma and everybody else and help, and was taught how to do things and how to do things right. And by the time I was old enough to do chores and stuff, I had some early life lessons that, boy, if you don't do it the way that they would do it, you're going to have to go back and do it over again. So I just learned how to do it, and I think it was about, when I was younger, it was about making people happy and making their lives easier because my mom was a single parent, and my sister and I had chore lists from hell, and boy, those better be done by the time Mom got home.
So when did you decide then you liked to clean houses?
I didn't like things being messy, and I just knew that I knew how to do it. And it was always so much more fun if I went to a friend's house and their parents were like, okay, before you can go play, you got to clean up your room. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And maybe I'm a total weirdo. I had fun. It was always so much more fun to go play house at somebody else's house.
So is it like, we hear that the plumbers, when they're plumbers at their own houses, need plumbing. Is that the same for you, that your own house then gets out of control at all? Or do you keep your house just as clean as you keep everybody else's?
I wish I kept mine as clean as I do my clients. It gets close, I'll go through once or twice a week and make sure the laundry is all caught up and the vacuuming's done and things are done. And just tonight, I looked inside the dishwasher after dinner, and there were ants. And I'm like, oh, God. So I have the daughter go grab me a dishwasher thing, and I'm like, well, don't care if there's a full load or not. We're running this thing now. So, just like everybody else, it's, my house isn't perfect, but my kitchen and my bathroom are always spotless, and I wouldn't be horrified if somebody showed up at the door. No, it's not as good as what I do for my client, but it's close. It's close. No, are you kidding? No, I tell my husband and daughter all the time, I'm like, man, if you're on my team, you'd be fired. Because they don't, if I ask them to do stuff and they don't do it, or they don't do it the way I want it. And so I've learned to relax a lot about stuff. And no, it doesn't have to be perfect. And no, my bed isn't always made. I'm human just like everybody else. But I mean, that you might find a cobweb, but you won't find anything disgusting.
Okay, well, that's a good idea. Well, this is the part of the show where we interpret a portion of our guest's name. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm beyond ready.
Okay. What's really interesting about your name is it says that your mind works better when there's some kind of clutter around. So whether it is just a drawer or a closet or the car or just the garage or something, you have to have some kind of clutter, because when you look at that clutter, your mind gets going like it's the key to the ignition that starts it. And you say, now, how can I clean this up? And then your mind's in gear, and then you can transfer it to other things. But when everything's too clean, too neat, too perfectly in order, that your mind's having a hard time getting started because there's nothing to engage it to. How do I clean? To, like that key in the ignition. Your name also says that you have a great sense of humor, that you can handle having a lot of attention, that you can learn anything once somebody shows you how. But the minute you've caught on and you understand it, it's like, go away, leave me alone. I got it now. Don't micromanage me. That you have a way of perseverance, that you're going to stick to something that you put your mind to. You're not going to give up. On the other hand, if you use that same energy, you can self-sabotage yourself in a way, because you can get very stubborn at different times. Your name also says that you've got fairness issues, that you have a very generous heart, and you're here to really help people change. And so I think that's interesting. Maybe you can change their cleaning habits. But your last name indicates that you were taught, just as you said, that everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be the best that it could possibly be, because you were here to learn how to think fast on your feet and how to make the world a better place. So how does that sound?
Oh my God, get out of my head. that is, I'm like, damn. Yeah, okay, put it this way, Sylvia Brown has nothing on you for a psychic.
Oh yeah, and she's expensive. Anyway, Dusty, Give us one tip. One tip. What is an easier way to clean something that you think most of us do the hard way?
One tip, the bathroom. When you get out of the shower and things are kind of steamy and wet, wipe the sinks. Use your bath towel to dry stuff off. Get the dust and stuff up, dry the mirror off, and you'd be amazed how sparkling stuff is. And I think something else that's difficult, because I don't find a lot of things really difficult. Just because I've been doing it for so long.
Is there one area of a house that in most houses you go into, that area is dirtier than the rest of the areas?
Kitchens and vanities, yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say
vanities, a lot of living rooms too, because of a lot of electronics people don't dust.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I was going to say, in our bathroom we have, what do you call it, a squeezy, or I don't even know what you call it, that you would usually use on windows. And we do that to the shower stalls every time, when we're getting out. And so we always think, okay, at least it looks decent for the next one in, or you can
absolutely
watch. I was just going to say, you can watch the kids say, no, I want to be the first one to take a shower because the last one in a row has to use the squeezy.
Oh, yeah, that's a microfiber cloth works wonders. When most people don't use a washcloth more than once. They may use their towel more than once, but use your washcloth to, wipe things down, give things a rinse off, and, just seriously wiping up the dust and stuff. I don't know. There's just something about just wiping off a counter, just a clean sweep and having stuff being fresh. And it's a very simple thing to do. It does not take long. You can start at the top, wipe off the shelf, wipe off the sink, and then finish off, wipe off the floor, and you'd be surprised at all the dust and hair and gunk that gets off just taking less than a minute to wipe everything down.
I wish some of the people whose houses I go into and declutter would do that, because I move an item and there's dog hair and trash, and I end up sometimes sweeping a room like 5 different times, because I constantly have to sweep out every time I move something, because I literally take pretty much everything out of a room if we're totally decluttering, if it's bad, and then put everything back in. And so I end up sweeping a lot. But anyway, we need to take a break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net and X Zone Broadcast Network, and on the website knowthename.com. After the break, we're going to find out some tips. Stay tuned.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV. Plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
We live in rapidly shifting times of extreme volatility and uncertainty. Such profound change brings a unique opportunity for the evolution of consciousness. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, host of Mission Evolution Radio Show, a program that explores the latest scientific developments and deepening spiritual truths supporting human evolution. Join me on xzbn.net, where I interview leading experts in science, physics, medicine, spirituality, and more. By applying divergent viewpoints to leading-edge topics, we uncover expansive and evolutionary truth to assist you on your path to enlightenment. More information and past episodes are available at missionevolution.org.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net and knowthename.com. Our guest tonight is Dusti. And then, Dusti, how did you get all the rest of this Garside Branecki? Were you born with that name?
I was not. Garside is my maiden name. And my dad didn't have any boys, and there's very few of the original Garside lineage, from Oklahoma area, and we're all over the U.S. We're not the English ones. And so when I got married, I decided, okay, well, I'll drop my given middle name and just take Garside and then Branecki. And for the first 30 years of my life, I was known as Garside, and before I left corporate America to become a personal assistant and housekeeper, I was a paralegal legal secretary. So I was professionally known as Garside. And I joked with my husband that, you know what, honey, I'm gonna keep both names because the checks will clear either way. So that's why I've got that, and Dusti works just fine. Hey, you, mom, whatever. It's all good.
Okay, well, your website is housekeepingfairygodmother.com. And for anybody who's interested, it is delightfully playful on her website with great colors. So that is housekeepingfairygodmother.com. So when you started cleaning houses, Dusti, how did you know what to charge, and how did you attract your very first client?
Wow. How I knew what to charge was I had researched what some local companies charge that have teams of 2-3 people that go out and don't do as detailed of move things and do everything I do. And then before I was licensed, background screened, insured, I had a really good family friend that their life was pretty much kind of a train wreck, and they had the local company say, oh, gee, we'll charge you $1,000. And my husband and I looked at each other and were like, we'll charge you $200 to go clean the downstairs of your house and detail your kitchen and do everything. So that's how we got started. It was for my husband went and helped me the first time, and then, I cleaned for these friends for about 6-7 years. And, as time went on, I realized that, they were getting a hell of a deal, but it was kind of enabling them to not do much themselves between times. And so they decided that, and it was a mutual parting of the ways. We're still great friends, that they and their children who were now in high school, needed to take a little responsibility and start taking care of some stuff themselves. So that's kind of how that went. But yeah, I looked at what some of these corporations charge, and I know that they don't pay their employees that. And so I kind of just went and undercut them. And like I said, this was years ago before getting licensed and background screened. And I've got a background doing legal research. So, I know how to figure things out and do things right and by the book. So that's how I figured out prices and what values of things were.
So did you have any stumbling blocks along the way while you were setting up your business? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Oh, Lord, yes. I did. I used to think that I could do everything, and I would underestimate the amount of time things would take. Back then I didn't just go bid jobs. It was, oh, I heard that you're a great cleaner. Gee, my mom and dad need some help. Kids that I'd gone to junior high and high school with 20, 30 years ago had contacted me, and ended up just doing, above and beyond stuff, which it's always good to do little extras, but, I would think, okay, this is only going to take me 3 or 4 hours, and 5 hours later, I'm looking at my watch going, gee, I need to go pick up kiddo from school. I've got another client waiting. So, had to really learn to set some limits and some boundaries. And, it's trial and error, figuring out, okay, how long does this take? How long does that take? And what different people have definitions of clean and what's considered a housekeeping chore versus a maid chore versus basic maintain your own home, everyday maintenance stuff.
So when you're deciding when you go in, do you charge by the size of the house or are you looking at how many people live in the house? Does that make a difference? Because does that make it messier or dirtier or where you're needed more?
It can. Yeah, it can. What it is it's also, I have checklists now, and I interview people, and we'll straight up ask, hey, what is it exactly that you're looking for? What do you do on your own? What areas are the most important to you, and how will you know when something is clean? How is there a tell for you when you know that something is to your standards? Because generally first-time cleanings or deep cleanings, if they haven't had a professional cleaning in the last 30 to 60 days, it's going to need a top to bottom, what I like to call the full fairy godmother. Just go and get everything done, and then after that, if they don't want to. It's not that they don't want to. If they really are too busy to maintain that level themselves, if they want maintenance, whether it's with me or with somebody else, then they can decide on that.
Okay. Now, you not only do private homes, okay, but also homes that are getting ready to sell. Now, I know that realtors in your area love a really clean house as it's easier to sell. Do you clean any differently if it's a house that's going on the market?
If it's a house that's going on the market, there's two different things. If it's empty or if it's still furnished, I know what people are looking for, and I clean sort of the same, but on some things, if it's been neglected, you get it as good as you can possibly get it. Like I said, it varies house to house. With some things, if there's already furniture in it or if it's been staged, it can be easier. I had one that I recently went and helped a friend out. She started doing one end, I started at the other, and 2 days later they took pictures. A week after that, the house sold. And I've got an appointment with her tomorrow. She's moving into a brand new house, and we're cleaning it before she moves in. She requested me specifically. So, yeah, it's a great question. Everybody's houses are different. There's no two that are identical. Yes, if you have there can be people that have pets that, it's just the floors get really bad. It's not that big. You got a good vacuum, got a good duster, not a big deal. And there's other ones that, they don't have pets, but they're really messy and things get spilled. So it takes a little more, or they'll have something on their hand and grab the front of a cupboard or something. And, and unfortunately and unfortunately, you can't unsee things. So if you see something that needs doing, if that's on your regular thing, you just do it.
Okay, so you also have very many busy executives as clients. Do they leave you alone in the house while you work, or how does that work?
They usually do. I look like a janitor. Or the zookeeper with sure you remember all the cartoons that have every different key for something. I've got several keys and alarm codes to people's homes, and usually they're on a schedule and on a maintenance schedule, and they normally somebody's not home. If they are home, they'll usually text me and say, "Hey, I'm working in the other room." I'm like, "Sure, no problem. If you're going to be on a call or something, let me know. I won't vacuum, or we'll do that first or last." But yeah, they do their thing. I do mine. So it works out really well. It's just it's not total autopilot, but it's kind of we have the routine, and generally if somebody's home, like, "Hey, what's going on?" Usually less than 60 seconds. You're polite, but you're not there to visit. You're there to do your job. I'm like, "Hey, anything special going on you need to know about? Got any special project, something that you want me to pay extra attention to?" And usually like, "Nah, just the normal, like, hey, yeah, could you take this out for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. Let's just do this." So I prefer if they're not home because it goes a lot faster for me.
Because there's nobody
And,
interrupting you at all times.
Yeah, no, usually they know not to. And they're like, oh, I've got one relative that is a client. She's like, well, I'll be in the other room. I'll shut the door and I'll be paying bills. And, she comes out and I asked her, she goes, well, I don't want you to do that right now because, this is your time. And I was sort of like, seriously, I'm almost done. You need help setting this up? Okay, yeah, let me call my husband, Auntie. He'll come over and he'll set up your printer and your DVD player for you. That's the family thing. I'm like, no, you're not paying for him to come do that. Give me a break. But generally, no, it's, we're really respectful of each other. If I'm there to do a job, they're there doing their job. We stay out of each other's way. We smile, we nod, we wave when we're heading out the door and lock it behind us, even if they're home.
Well, I was going to say, having your husband come over and set up printers, that is extra and above. No wonder they love you. We need to take another break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net, an X-Zone Broadcast Network station, and on the website, knowthename.com. This show is dedicated to being able to easily and effectively keep your house clean. After the break, we're going to find out some of the different methods that Dusti uses to clean houses quickly and effectively. Stay tuned.
Broadcast studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, to the world and beyond. You're watching the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
AVS Media Den.
You have heard of the X-Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X-Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world, interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. Our guest tonight is Dusti Garside Branecki, who can be reached via her website at HousekeepingFairyGodmother.com. Now, Dusti, you serve the Sacramento area in California. So, what if someone doesn't live in your area? What are the important questions that for someone to ask a potential house cleaner before deciding if this person is the right person for them? How would they pre-interview somebody to know?
Oh, that's excellent. Are they licensed? Are they insured? If it's just a single cleaner, you don't bond yourself. You are bonded if you have employees, but they need to be licensed and background screened and insured. They need to have experience with different material types, whether somebody's got granite, natural stone, wood, laminate, carpet, whatever. They need to know how, what type of chemical things can you use on this, and that you never use on that, and just how experienced are they?
Okay, for an example, let's say they have a stainless steel refrigerator. What would you use to clean stainless steel? Because a lot of people have that and don't know what to do.
The best thing to do is take a microfiber cloth. You can use water. You can use a commercial, cleaner. Stainless steel cleaner. Some things you can use just a regular mirror window cleaner. I found one that I used today on one of my clients that has the stainless steel is microfiber, whether it is a shop cloth that you can get at Sam's, Costco, Walmart, or if you want to go get a Norwex name brand one, just get that damp with a little bit of cleaner, a little bit of water, and go with the grain, and usually the stuff comes right off.
Okay. This may seem like an obvious question, Dusti, but is it better for people to have items all picked up prior to getting their house cleaned? I mean, I know some people leave dishes in the sink or toys out, or talk to me about that. Does it slow down where you're able to do less, or does that take you longer and you charge them for it, or how does that work?
Generally, what I ask people to do is pick things up. If you can have your kids pick up their toys off the floor. For me, it's, before I vacuum my house, I got to take all my dog's toys and throw them in the toy basket. If they can do that, if they can have their dishes rinsed and put in the dishwasher, or if they want the sink cleaned and not the counter cleaned, if I can't reach the sink, I will straight up ask somebody, do you want me to do the dishes? Are you wanting to pay somebody to wash your dishes? One of my longtime wonderful clients today, I've got him on a maintenance thing, and compared to hourly versus maintenance package, it doesn't take me as long as what he pays me for. So today, let's see, I cleaned wine glasses that were sitting out that had some lipstick on them, not a big deal, and washed them and put them away. I customize it for other people, but to straight up answer your question, if they have their stuff picked up and put up, don't have all your shoes and your toys sitting out. Sit them in your room, set them in your closet, because the easier that I can reach all and access all areas, the faster it's going to be, the less you're going to spend. If your money and your time are equally important, pick stuff up.
Okay. Dusti, what's one thing a person can do in the kitchen to help keep it clean?
Wipe the stove off every time you cook. Wipe it down and dry it. Soap, water, and then dry it.
Okay. Does it matter what kind of an oven it is?
the type of oven.
Or the type of stovetop, because there's different kinds. There's flat ones that.
There are different types. If you have like an induction glass or whatever, most of those you can still just wipe down and wipe it with a damp cloth and dry it with a dry cloth. Just if you wipe stuff up after the stove's cooled down, after you've cooked something, don't just let the grease and the grime accumulate, because the more stuck on stuff is, it's just you can have gorgeous, expensive kitchen and ruin it by having stuff on there.
Would you ever use a razor blade to help get stuff off of that kind of a stovetop?
No. Generally not, because you don't want to take the chance of scratching something. If something's stuck on there, you usually get it damp, and something that's non-abrasive, just work at it, scrape at it to get it off. Razor blade's kind of a last resort thing, and that's not something that I would recommend using. I've heard that they make like a plastic razor type scraper thing. If it's not like a soft cloth or the edges or the fibers of a microfiber or a soft scrubby, I won't. That's personally, I won't do it, because I've never, in all the years I've been doing this, I've never ruined somebody something or had a claim on my insurance policy, and I'd really like to keep it that way.
Okay. So how often?
I apologize for.
No, go ahead. How often would the oven be cleaned? Like, I know some people put foil in the bottom of the oven and say, okay, that's good enough, and we switch it out, yearly or whatever. Other people are fastidious, and every month they're cleaning all the inside of their oven. What's your recommendation?
You know what? A lot of self-cleaning ovens, I've found when doing move-out cleanings, those don't work. As soon as you spill something, wipe it up. Don't just leave it there. Later doesn't come. On that, usually it depends on how often you use it. My mom used to clean her oven every year on her birthday. So
Okay.
she cleaned it yearly. Some people clean it more. It depends on how often you use it. And if you're just baking something and it pies are infamous for flowing over and spilling, you want to get that up right away. Greasy stuff, it's the longer you leave it, the harder it's going to be. It's really personal preference. That is usually a special request item for me to clean somebody's oven. I'm good at it. It's generally that is like a move out cleaning thing or a special deep clean add-on. That's not part of the regular service. So
on your regular service, would you rotate certain things? Like, I know the fabulous lady that comes to my house once a month. Like 1 month she'll do the refrigerator, and then the next month she does the oven, and the next month, she has something that's special that you don't do all the time. Like maybe she'll do the cabinet inside the curios cabinet or something, but she does one special thing every time she comes. Do you do that, or do you say no, whenever that you want that done, it's going to be extra?
It really varies on that. The type of things I do, because most of my special most of the rotation things are every 2 weeks. Some are like every month. What I'll do is on some of them, hey, we'll super get the ceiling fans one time, and the ceiling fans and all the cobwebs. It's like every other time and do that. Baseboards are usually every 3 or 4 times. I do light switches in fronts of cupboards and stuff every time. I don't know. That's a great question. Oh, the tracks of a door, going in and out. Like a sliding door. That's the type of thing. I spot do those almost every time. I may not clean an entire sliding door, and most windows. There's a lot of insurance companies want you to have a glass policy. If somebody's got a type of window that the whole thing comes out, I'm not going to take it out. I'm not going to take the chance of doing that. I can spot do this and that. I straight up tell people, hey, listen, that is not my specialty. I'll give it a shot, but I can't guarantee that it's going to be perfect, because those window washers make certain things for a reason. So, I have very few limitations, but if I see a great big, like a dog nose print or a kid hand print on a window or on a sliding door, I'm gonna take my mirror cloth or my glass tablecloth and wipe that thing down and make sure it doesn't look all disgusting. So it's just, I don't know. That's a great question. There's some things that, some people don't want you getting in their fridge. The most I do is when I'm wiping off the front of the fridge or the handles, I'll open it and just wipe the side down. If somebody wants me to do the inside of the fridge, no problem doing that. But I did that for one client one time, and he got real upset that they were on vacation and there was a horrible stench. I threw out things that were expired by 2 years, and he had a fit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd want to throw those out too, but of course it's somebody else's stuff. You always need to ask. Well, I'm interested on how you deal with odors and how you manage that, because I'm sure, like you said, the refrigerator could stink or the bathrooms could stink. So when we come back from break, that's what I'd like to know. We do need to take our last break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You on xzbn.net and knowthename.com. After the break, we're going to find out some more cleaning tips and what Dusti has in her name that has assisted her that you just might have in your name as well. Stay tuned.
The X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
The new nonfiction book, Razor of Madness, is similar to cult movies like Clockwork Orange, Dragon's Tattoo, or The Other Side of Hell. Wayne Morin Jr. and Thomas Lee Howell will expose widespread and systematic deficiencies in this thought-provoking tell-all novel. Mind control rages among scholars in law schools. Human rights are ignored while thought reform and mental manipulation are accepted practices used as behavior modification. Dr. Louis Jolyon West comes to mind. Media and public scrutiny shows that United States mental hospitals are in fact destructive murder industries. Razor of Madness expose novel details this epidemic through an in-depth professional and personal investigation. For decades, there has been a revolving door policy that still releases killers and pedophiles back into society. The maestro of mind control continues to haunt America to this very day. Razor of Madness is available in paperback or as a downloadable ebook at Amazon.com.
The concept of a new age has been around since the late 19th century, yet much of its original meaning has been lost. What exactly is the new age? Is it a religion, a collection of obscure esoteric practices, a series of doomsday predictions, or an astrological event? The New Age Chronicles is a unique complementary publication bringing reason and grounded information to separate fact from fiction. Chock full of valuable information to support you as we make the monumental shift into the new era. You won't want to miss a single innovative issue. The New Age Chronicles newspaper is coming soon to www.newagechronicles.com.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. Our guest tonight is Dusti Garside Branecki, whose website is housekeepingfairygodmother.com. She has taken her skills to a level where Dusti is able to clean houses and share her secrets with others to enable them to keep their houses clean. Okay, Dusti, how did becoming a house cleaner change your life? Did it change from what you were doing before as a legal paraprofessional?
Oh Lord, no more pantyhose and high heels. No more 10-hour days and then getting calls after I get home. I mean, yeah, if I work longer than 6 to 8 hours in a day, that's because I've scheduled, three major appointments. Everything that I've been able to do, I worked as a hospice caregiver for my mom the last 5 years of her life, and if I had a traditional job, there's no way I would have been able to do that. Have been to every field trip my daughter ever did Girl Scouts, did coaching, and still worked and was able to contribute to my family's income. So I would not trade being an entrepreneur for the world. I've really realized while I'm a great team player, I don't think I could be anybody's employee again ever.
Yeah, once you have the freedom
I like being the boss and doing my own thing.
Yeah. So let's look at floors. How do you clean the different surfaces that comprise floors? Like, do you clean tile floors differently than wood floors?
Yes, you do. Wood does not like water, period, and does not like moisture. A tile floor, if it's sealed and durable, you can wet mop that, you can steam mop that, you can hands and knee it. It's pretty easy. I've even got a floor mate electric cleaner that I'm in love with. It scrubs and sucks up the water and everything all in one. I just adore it. So that's great. For wood floors, you usually want to dust mop it. Always check the manufacturer's suggestions, because you don't want to do something to void the warranty on it. So, if I'm going to do somebody's wood floor, the most I would do is really a lightly misted microfiber mop, whether that's a little tiny bit of distilled water, whether it's, a Bona cleaner or whatever brand you want to call it. Just really, really careful with what you do to it, because you don't want to ruin somebody's floor.
Yeah, especially those wood floors. I was just amazed how expensive they are. We've talked about...
No.
Yeah, we've talked about the kitchen, the bathroom, and floors. Let's move to bedrooms. What about changing sheets? Is there a fast way to change sheets?
There truly isn't. Your best bet is just take everything off the bed. If you've got blankets and comforters or just a comforter, just take your comforter, lay it across something, take your blanket, lay it across it. Just take all the sheets off, take pillowcases off, stick them to a side, grab your other ones, and just put them on. There's not a super quick way to do it. If you're just used to doing it, you just do it. One of my hacks is, for my own, if I'm folding laundry and folding sheets, is I put the complete set and the matching pillowcases all together in the closet.
Yeah, I do that
it makes
too.
It easier to find them.
And on the bottom sheet, you tuck in the
no fast
folds.
way.
Okay, when you're folding your sheets, you tuck in the folds on the bottom sheet so they all lay nicely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you try to square it off as much as possible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some sets are easier to get that perfect point on than others. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I'm good at that.
Do most people require hospital corners, or do people prefer not to have their sheets tucked in? What's the fad this day?
I've only got one client right now that I change sheets for, and that's an Airbnb client. And truth be told, she showed me how to do a hospital corner because I'd never done one. I knew how to make it nice and tight and do this, that, and the other, but I am now the queen of hospital corners.
Hospital corners. Well, my dad's a physician, so all of us kids grew up with, we had to make hospital corners. So I was always curious since we didn't have a choice. Go ahead.
No. I mean, I knew how to make, I've known how to make a bed since I was like 2-3 years old. That was one of the cool things that, I'd make it, and then when I wasn't looking, my parents would go straighten it up and go, oh, it looks great, even though it looked like hell.
Well, living rooms and entire houses always need to be dusted. Is there a fast way to dust and get under all the decoratives? Or is one product better at keeping the dust off of surfaces so it stays clean longer? I mean, the majority, I would think, is so much dusting. A
microfiber cloth, or, if you like the, I like the Swiffer dusters because they work great, but there is a point to where the less clutter and the less things that you have sitting out, the easier it is just to, lift up a picture frame and dust it. But I'll usually have like a microfiber mitt on my hand or a cloth in my hand and wipe off the front of a picture frame, and, stuff that a regular duster just isn't going to get. And you can do it quickly, but you need to be careful enough to where don't do like the commercials do and go around stuff, because I've had times where the edge of my duster has caught something and it goes flying off a shelf, and I'm praying as I'm running, doing that quarterback and receiver catch thing that it doesn't hit the floor. So it's just gravity. You start at the top of the room, you end at the bottom.
So how often, if they have wood furniture, would you recommend that people oil their furniture?
That's a personal preference. If it looks dried out, they can. It's absolutely their preference of what they want to do and how they want it done. There's some things I've used just a little bit of orange oil or Pledge. There's a multi-surface that I've used different brands over the years that work great. Some people don't want their stuff oiled. They want it original, however it is. So, yeah, that's how often you do something. It's, how dry is it, and what type of look do you want? Because all woods are different.
Okay. If you
how often? Every few months.
Okay. And I guess it depends on the climate too, from where you are and how dry the wood gets out quickly.
Absolutely. Yes.
Or if they leave all the windows open or do use air conditioning.
Yeah.
If you could change one thing about how people keep their houses, what would that be?
Take your shoes off at the door and don't wear shoes in the house. You find that
tracks a lot, or why?
It tracks things in, whether it's mud from outside or germs or tracking dog hair or whatever from one end to the other. Your stuff will stay nicer looking longer, and you won't scratch up your floors and everything. And there's more than one thing I'd love to do. People that shower that are into all these essential oils and body scrubs that have oil in them, stop. You're ruining the surface of your shower. You're making your plumber rich, and it's the disgusting black ring that you will get on the bottom of your tub is not worth it. It takes us a long time to get it off and to keep doing it. Wait until you're out of the shower to put your oils and stuff on. Do not put them on in the shower. It's a fall risk, and that's why for oiling the furniture, I'm like, it's a tricky one. You want to buff it and make sure it's in. There's not too much sitting on it, because oil attracts dirt.
Right. It does. It definitely does. So, thank you so much for being with us, Dusty. Is there anything else you're
welcome?
Anything else, like in 30 seconds, that you want to say or share before we close out?
You know what? Just pick stuff up and don't let things get out of control. If they are, ask for help and get help, because life's too short to have a yucky house.
Well, I look at it, the cleaner the environment, the cleaner you're thinking. Anyway, thank you so much for being with us, Dusti.
Thank you.
Everyone, be prepared and surprised and pleased if you are lucky enough to get to experience Dusti Garside Branecki's work. Her website, again, is housekeepingfairygodmother.com. Dusti excels at cleaning houses and being persistent in doing the best job she can. Persistence, which is turned upside down, is stubbornness, is found in the letter combination of ST, like it's in Dusti, in that placement of ST, but also anywhere in the name. So like a Stephanie or a Stacy, would have that same thing of stubbornness and persistence, depending on which side you want to use. If your name has an ST combination in it, you too can use this energy to get in your own way by being stubborn, or use this energy in an uplifting way to get enormous tasks accomplished by being persistent. Do you know where your genius lies? I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, host of the radio show, Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which can be heard every weekday at various hours right here on xzbn.net radio, an X-Zone radio station, and on the website, knowthename.com. Tune in to hear the fascinating ways other people have discovered the genius in themselves and what they're able to accomplish. In each show, you hear clues on how you can recognize your own innate genius. For all the days and times of Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, please go to xzbn.net and check out our broadcast schedule. If you wish to learn how to read a person's name or know more about your own name and discover your innate genius, visit the website knowthename.com and give yourself the gift of a session. This is Sharon Lynn Wyeth signing off.
Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifeology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Are you or is someone you know struggling with addictions, depression, anxiety, relationships, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, grief, success, and prosperity? Do you know that your subconscious belief plays a big role in the outcome of your hard work? We can help you permanently change the beliefs that may be the reason for your struggles and failures. We care about getting you the return on your investment and the results you are looking for. We can help you be free of the limitations of your past and in realizing your highest potential. We work with people by phone and Skype. For more information, visit us at www.ritasoman.com. That's www.ritasoman.com. Do you think you have energy problems in your home? Do you feel better when you're away than when you're home? Joey Korn is a global leader in the world of dowsing who specializes in personal energy clearing and space clearing. He can help you create an ideal energy environment in your home no matter where you live in the world. Learn about his remote spiritual house cleaning services and much more at www.dowsers.com. You can get Joey's book, Dowsing, A Path to Enlightenment, as well as other dowsing books and tools, Kabbalah books, and Walter Russell books. Joey's work is really amazing. Go to dowsers.com right now. That's DOWSERS.com, or call 1-877-DOWSING. That's 1-877-369-7464.